Good morning. There's a story of the Alter Rebbe that when he was in prison, the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid Mezritch came to visit him. And as we know that cell room had room for 3 people. So we know that the Mezritch Maggid and Baal Shem Tov came to visit him in this room. So there's a conversation. Mezritch Maggid tells the Alter Rebbe to say a maimer. And Baal Shem Tov said it's okay, very good, very well said. Baal Shem Tov asked him, why do I deserve this? So the Baal Shem Tov answered, you brought down Chassidus in an understandable way, in Chachma, Bina, and Das, that people should be able to understand it, and that is way too much for the people, and now is not the time. So he asked him, okay, so what do I do? After I go out, what should I do? Should I continue or I should stop? Now we reached the helm, we reached the top, now I should stop, l'chayra. Any upsetting, any downfall should make us stop right away. The Baal Shem Tov said, no, continue. And go even stronger. And as we know, that when the Baal Shem Tov went up to Heichal Mashiach, Mashiach told him, Mashiach told him, so automatically, we know that he has to continue. But we know that the Alter Rebbe took off the kitrug of his Rebbe, the Mezritch Maggid, by saying as follows. There was a young prince which was very, 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 very sick. And his life was in danger. Doctors upon doctors were coming in and out. Can't help him. This young elderly Jew, says, I can save the prince. I have the capability. They look at him as, what? No, if he says he can save him, there's no way out any other way, so let's bring him in. He says, take the diamond of the king's crown. The most precious diamond of the crown. That means without this diamond, the crown is not worth anything. Crush it up very, very thin and put into his mouth whatever goes in his mouth, even 1 drop. And do this daily. And his son got better. The prince got better. Alter Rebbe says the same thing. Told the Eibishter the same thing. Chassidus was thrown around in the time of Mezritch Maggid. People were stepping on it. It was Afkedus. Alter Rebbe says, at least it goes into his mouth. At least we have 1 drop of Chassidus. The most proper Chassidus, anything. Even a drop comes to a Yid, will help him out forever. And the kitrug went away. Because it was pikuach nefashis. It was a time then when Yidden were downtrodden by all the other things in the world, by the going-ons in the world. They were in a time of annihilation. There's nothing left for them. Take a drop of Chassidus. So it doesn't make a difference if one person picks up from the floor and takes it and learns it. Learns it. He'll be Mechaya Nefesh. He won't be annihilated. He'll be Mechaya Nefesh. So we see over here is the Alter Rebbe brought it into knowledge, understanding. And that is Tanya. That is his Shulchan Aruch, his Tanya. We know that the Rambam, he gives the halacha that you cannot reveal too much. You cannot go too much out of the proportion. But when it came to Igeres Teiman, when he had to send a letter to Teiman, he told them Chassidus and Kabbalah. Because when it comes to Koach Nefashis, you have to do it. So it's brought down that the Arizal says in Mitzvah Galazei Sachachma. That's a mitzvah to reveal this Chachma. It could be for Yechidim, close-knit people, but it's a mitzvah legali zois chachma. It's a mitzvah to reveal this chachma. Kabbalah, Chassidus, Pnimius HaTorah. Okay, so what is the difference between the Alter Rebbe and the Zitcher Magid? So when you're dealing with B'koach Nefashis, any little bit is enough. The Torah which the Hashem Tov taught, the Torah the Mizitcher Magid taught, the Torah which the Alter Rebbe taught before he went into prison, those are Nekudas. For B'koach Nefashis, Nekudas alone. To save people, it's only a Nekuda alone. But to prepare ourselves for Mashiach, when the time of Mashiach will come, in the most revealed sense, everyone will ladas es Hashem bilvad. Everyone will know godliness. So to prepare for Mashiach, we have to learn Chassidus with Havana and Asaga. That the Chassidus becomes one with us. That there's nothing in our existence which is not permeated with Chassidus. And that's what the Alter Rebbe wanted. That we should understand Chassidus, we should understand Keser, just like we understand the 5 fingers of a hand. We know the 5 fingers, we know what it does, we understand what it does. So too we should understand Chassidus. So there's 2 explanations of what Chassidus is connected to. Either Mikra or Gemara. So Chumash, you're allowed to learn even if you don't understand it. It's mainly the Chumash. And that's why I make a bracha by the Torah. Even though we don't understand it, you still make a bracha on the Torah. Even if you don't understand the Torah Shebiksav. Torah Shebal Peh, you have to understand it. And the Shakvatariya in Gemara. The Shakvatariya in every aspect of learning. There's learning and harving and trying to understand something. And go to different scenarios and try to understand it this way and that way. That's Gemara. So when it's considered like Mikra, a tipa is enough. That's the Baal Shem Tov's Zinyan. Which that is for Koach Nefashis. Koach Nefashis, anything. But the idea of Chassidus is as Nigla, Atay Shebiksav, Mishnah, or Gemara, that is something you have to understand the Chassidus. And that is a preparation for the coming of Mashiach. And that's why the Alter Rebbe brought down Navana Vasag and understanding. So Be'ez Hashem, by learning Chassidus and delving into Chassidus and understanding Chassidus, like the Reb Marash said, or Reb Marashab, that when I learn the Kuti Torah, I am Atzmus. When he used to sit and learn the Kuti Torah in his room, he would feel Atzmus. He would be Atzmus. Because through Chassidus you learn the Eibishter. You understand how to rectify yourself. You understand how to purify yourself. You understand how to be a mensch. And that's why it's imperative to learn Chassidus. Not only to learn Chassidus, but spread it out into the world. Like like Mashiach said to the Baal Shem Tov, "L'chsheyefutzu manisecho chutza." You understand something Chassidus? Give it over. And we shall have the Shana Teva B'lim da Chassidus U'darkei Chassidus Tikasei V'seichasei. We should be inscribed in the year of learning Chassidus. Bringing godliness into the world. Understand that every Yid is a chelik elikami mal mamish. Every Yid is a part of God. As we learned in Tanya yesterday, that if we don't see our soul shining, we have to ask Rachmanis from Hashem. If our inner soul is not revealed, we have to ask Rachmanis from Hashem. Because the neshama has to be revealed. Utzdaka kenachal eson. And giving up to someone else, giving tzedakah. When you help another Jew, you're standing way above. You get double, tens, and triple, 10 times more in your understanding and in your actions. So the Eibusha should help. We should actually be ready for Mashiach. That today will go with the Gula Amitis V'Ashleima imminently right now. Long live our master teacher and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our master teacher and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our master teacher and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever.